Welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium. Here action in the first. Quarter of play. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got room. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great play there. With his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree, because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body, get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that time away, and then you come back ready to go.
You look at this Colt defense, and they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, It always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 18. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
77 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. The Colts at 5-7 now on the year, and they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And they'll go to the air now with Richardson.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
1st and 10, it's Richardson.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Blitz came there from the inside, and there just wasn't much resistance.
No, not at all. That means that defensively, they timed it up perfectly and matched up perfectly. They drew all the blockers to the other guys, left a free runner back to the quarterback, and you know what a free runner turns into? A free hitter.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Richardson looking to throw this.
Flushed out right. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence, just because it didn't work once.
To a hit, and the ball is out. And the Colts pick it up. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way?
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Running left, Achane.
And he is going to lose yardage here. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. It's a big play there for Miami. To their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Now Achane on 1st and 10.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devon Achane, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from drawing level. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone. And
it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd down and 9. Richardson off the play fake.
Steps away to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schmidt. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
On second down, they'll run it here.
98 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Richardson to throw off play action.
Rolling to his left. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. There'll be some contact going on.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game.
And the Colts will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3, and take some momentum into the locker room.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws, has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Spinning away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and that will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one.
Second and 10. Now it's Richardson.
Rolling to his right. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
1st and 10. Here's Richardson with it.
Out to his left. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Now Richardson back to throw it.
He'll buy some time right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard.
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3.
But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. Really well for them, too.
And he's across the 45. It'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know you're just trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory.
147 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. Here comes third and the length of the football. Play action. Now Richardson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 28. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Buying time to his left. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Well, certainly not how they drew it up. A 4th down gamble turns into a 4th down scramble, but all is well. First down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Colts take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now 21-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
On second down, a run by Achane.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane.
That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
That is caught.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Tua now on 1st down.
And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Isaiah Simmons getting by the offensive line and dropping the quarterback.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Colts are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly. And what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to take this one down to the 25.
189 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. From the 25, here's 2nd and 3.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Heck of a move, but only able to work his way down near the 23. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And he is going to have a Colts 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
2nd down and 4.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Colts add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here in this fourth quarter.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. Tua going to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Fourth down, fourth quarter. Here's Tua.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
From the 28, it's second and 5.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Colts up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A drive there of just 4 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Miami set to take over.
What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base. Now Tua. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
He's got his target. That's complete.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in.
The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, a pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line.
Well, this was a really nice display, Charles, of compliment. And have to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute, both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game. And they got it done in this one.
So for the Colts, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
Tonight, from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Houston Texans taking on the Indianapolis Colts.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, Week 15 begins with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 64 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Now a 2nd and 10. Pierce now up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. You look at this Colt defense. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
The Texans send the punter out. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
And now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Out of the gun now on third down.
Pass taken in by his big.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
The Colts had 6 and 7, a game under 500 on the year, and they have certainly got it rolling as of late, winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And here to be by much. He needed 4 and he got 4 on 3rd down.
Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great play there.
With his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Extra point attempt to come here. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game.
And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later, hey, it's game day again. But I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you're going to a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off play action. Thurston.
That's underneath to Pierce.
2 yards on the pickup there. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 8.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And that is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Richardson under pressure, and down he goes.
A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Go.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action with Richardson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact. But in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
On 2nd down, it's Richardson to throw it.
Eluding the pressure right. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year.
And the Colts have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. A 10-play drive that time, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Texans back out there and ready to go.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. On 1st down, Thurston. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do. Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd down and 8. Richardson working from the gun. Escaping the pressure right. Throw out right, pulled in by Downs. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36. Off play action. Richardson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air with Richardson. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
On 3rd down, here's Richardson. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the... Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 88 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Right back to him on 1st down. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Here's a 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, Richardson. Flush to his right. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Anthony Richardson, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Colts take a 3-touchdown lead. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was Anthony Richardson who took it into the end zone to finish things off. Out there now, and they will send this one away. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half.
on the ground. It's Pierce to begin the drive.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visiting Texans who came away with a victory. So they'll look to take the season series if they can win here in Houston. And they'll go right back to Pierce.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. Thurston
finding Pickens for another catch.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it's second down. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
Back to throw again. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Now a 2nd and 2.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground.
And this is going to be a Colts first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 123 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. Game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive. But sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose. And just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Richardson on the bootleg here.
And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Colts add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 28-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They'll look to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
And now a stoppage, and it looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Finds Pickens outright.
Touchdown, Houston.
George Pickens,
30 yards.
And the Texans are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if he picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards you needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's got it. Touchdown, Colts. Deebo Samuel, his 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list. And the Colts have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. Fighting his way through contact. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The football going back over now to the Houston Texans. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Thurston. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards to play.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
throwing on first down. Thurston
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Thurston. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 47 yards. And the Texans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point.
It's good, and it's now 35-14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field.
And they hope to polish things off, and what a run they are on as they try to turn a 6-game win streak into a 7-game win streak. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
161 yards rushing now as he's done it on 22 carries. First and 10, Richardson looks to throw it. He'll let one go deep for Downs. And a high throw there as this is knocked away down to the ground and incomplete.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Indianapolis, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Cincinnati next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Houston, good night, everybody.
Tonight on EA Sports, it's time for Monday Night Football on EA Sports. It's the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Indianapolis Colts.
It's a brisk night in the Midwest, but we've got football at Paycor Stadium in the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio. Tonight, it's a compelling late-season clash here in Week 16, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses who have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
First down, and they'll start with Algier. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Taking a glance here at the numbers last week for Algier. 18 carries, 76 yards.
When a winning streak stretches this far, you start to wonder if a team is truly unstoppable. And here's a guy who's been very much the legs that have helped drive this team to wins week after week. And even when teams have keyed on him and tried to slow him down, he's still gotten the job done enough to avoid a loss. Talking with him in pregame, though, he thinks that this week could be his biggest week yet.
Burrow looking to pass. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Now the try here for the extra point. And this is good to make it